Topics spoken here may contain triggers. They're about sensitive topics and can be controversial in nature. My hope is for these videos to be a place to start healthy conversations and empathize with one another. I don't intend to choose a side or say anything's good or bad, left or right, east or west, up or down, any of that. I just want us to come together and grow in our own personal perspectives. Thank you. Hello, and welcome to another Kim's Whims. So, I've had a couple things just rattling around in my head, and I mean, I don't want to be negative, but the one that I kind of felt like I wanted to just talk about is depression. I think I mentioned this in a prior video, but I was diagnosed about, I want to say 6 years ago. It might have been longer, but a while ago with anxiety and depression. Also, what's it called? Borderline personality disorder, which I was like, what does that mean? I'm going to turn into a serial killer or something? That's literally how naive and ignorant I was. And basically, from what I read in the diagnosis, that's what I'll call it, it said that has a unhealthy view of self or something like that. And I was like, there was other things that fit and were evident, but I was just like, I've read that and I'm like, yeah, but doesn't most people? And maybe other than the people that are like super like, no, I'm the best, don't a lot of people have an unhealthy view of themselves? I mean, really? And I mean, even those people that think they're the best, they kind of have an unhealthy view of themselves. There's nothing wrong with being confident in yourself, but if you think you're better than everyone else, that's kind of a bad view. And so I just was like, so depression, because, and for those out there who have never really struggled with this, or have family members but they just never really got it, or just can't relate, imagine your worst scenario, like someone that you love died, or that thing that you pray and hope would never happen happened, and you're left with the ramifications of that. Now imagine that feeling that you get comes on you without any reason. Like, you're just sitting there and you're like, you know what, I wish I was dead. And, sorry to go really dark really quick, but that's a very common thought. Now, if you've moved to the stages of planning, please seek help. Please know that there are people who will listen to you. There's hotlines, there's lots of resources. Tell your family and friends that you're not alone. And if you have made plans or attempts, don't suffer in silence. Don't do this alone, because you're valuable. You're meant to be here. You're here for a reason, and you're fearfully and wonderfully made, and you are amazing. It's just that you're struggling with these dark emotions that literally make you feel insane. But the fact is, other people feel them too. And so it's not hopeless. And there's therapy, there's medication, and then there's, even diet can help it. Like, when I'm feeling really depressed, sometimes certain types of fruit eating them actually makes me feel happier. Having a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee! I'm like, why sometimes can I feel like the world sucks and I hate being in it, and then I have a cup of coffee, I'm like, everything's great, I love it, I'm so happy. And I'm like, what the flip? How do I go from 0 to 100 like that? I'm just like, and, you know, if none of those things work, don't give up on that either, because, you know, there's constantly studies being done. Thankfully, the world is getting more aware, and there are stupid people out there, and those people are the hateful people that say it's all in your head, it's all made up, it's, you know, they minimize it, they say suck it up buttercup, and all these hurtful things. And the funny thing is they won't turn that same thing on themselves. They want sympathy, they want pity, they want compassion when they're in those times, but no, will they give it to other people? No. And so they're very hypocritical, and they're pouring from an empty cup. They probably themselves haven't felt loved and are dealing with depression or rejection or hurt in their own way, and so they're not capable of having compassion or empathy to others because they themselves haven't had it. So those people need pity and sympathy. And I don't mean pity in like a pitiful, or, you know, like, I don't know what you hear when I say pity. When I say pity, I mean sympathy. You have compassion for those people because they're in a bad place too. They just don't acknowledge it. You actually are healthier by the fact that you acknowledge that you deal with depression, that you deal with anxiety. And just because you deal with it, it doesn't mean it has to own you. I don't claim my depression, my anxiety is worse than anyone else's, or better than anyone else's, or minimize my own pain. At least I try not to. I mean, I'm human, so I have habits of doing that. But you have a right to feel what you feel, and to feel it as strongly as you feel it. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I still deal with the loss of my dog in a... I don't deal with it that good. I miss her. And some people were like, well, so what? It was just a dog. That's stupid. Or, you know, it's a stupid dog, you know, because they don't even value animals. And whether you're a Christian or not, I really firmly believe one of the closest experiences you can get to God's love is the love of this little creature that we call a dog. Because they have this capacity of unconditional love. And they look at you like you're the most wonderful thing they've ever seen. And to have someone who loves you like that. And Buffy, and yeah, I named her after Buffy the Vampire Slayer. What's funny is I didn't even intend to keep her. And her brother, which I wanted to keep, ran away. Power went out, and I was stupid and didn't call my dad. And so he got out, and and we never found him. And so I don't know if he got hit by a car, picked up by another family. I hope he was found, and that he lived a long life and had a good family. Really hope so. But gosh, when I think about what I did and having to put her to sleep, you know, talk about a massive depressive episode, and you go into this pit, and there's no hope, there's no light, there's no uplifting or comfort. And even if someone's hugging you, you feel numb. You're iced. You're frozen in time, and you feel like it's never gonna end. It's never gonna end. And you even hate the happy memories because you feel like they're never coming back, and they're just a painful reminder of something you had that you're never gonna have again. And all of it's a lie. It's a lie from the pit of hell. It's not true, but it feels true. But I realized the most hurtful thing I did to myself when I would have depressive episodes is be mad at myself for being depressed, for being ashamed or beating myself up or feeling like I shouldn't feel like this. And the best, and I still struggle with it, but the best thing I could do was learning to lean in to why I was feeling that way. And a lot of times I realized I was kind of just having a pity party. And it was okay. It was okay that I was having a pity party. Poor me. Because there was dreams that died or have yet to come true. Like this past weekend, I had a chance to go see a YouTuber, at the time of filming this past weekend. It was one of my dreams, and I failed. I didn't get to meet him. I was late, and I still had fun. My boyfriend, God bless him, he is such a sweetie, and he tried to help me have a really good day still. But I was so disappointed, and I was, and I went into the mode of shop therapy, which isn't a good place to go. And I wanted just to feel good, and that meant whether that was eating food, doing something, it's a dangerous place to go. But I remember telling myself, you know what, it's okay for me to be upset. And I'm not going to feel ashamed, even if it made my boyfriend sad for me to be upset. And, he felt like, what can I do to help? There's nothing I can do. And I'm like, you're right, there isn't anything you can do. The best thing you can do is love me in spite of it. And, he's so good at that. And, we have to speak it, especially those of us who really struggle with it. We have to learn to verbalize it. And it's hard. It's really hard to verbalize it when you're hurting. But the more we learn to verbalize it, the more we learn to express what we're hurting, what we're needing, and how we're hurting, and just saying, just can you sit with me here in the sadness? And there's been times when I've just needed to hug him and cry. And I apologized to him afterwards, but that is the most amazing thing. It's the most amazing gift someone can give. And yeah, I'm not sure where I intended to go, and I want to wrap this up, but depression is real. But it doesn't have to be your reality. There is a difference. And not everyone's as lucky as me that they have these family and friends they can pull on. But there's also times when, even though I have them, I still don't. I'm ashamed. And that's why there's those hotlines. That's why there's therapy. That's why there's resources out there. And just be careful who you share your pain with, because some people don't deserve it. They don't deserve to walk through that with you because they don't value it. And I hope every single one of you, whether you are in denial about struggling with depression, struggle with depression, or don't struggle with depression. I hope you don't. I don't want anyone to struggle with depression. But I hope every one of you have people or resources that you're able to go to. And if I can find one of the hotlines, I'll put it in the description below. But even if I can't, know that you can Google them. You can Google suicide hotlines and things like that. And don't give up. Please don't give up. You are needed, because there is no one in this world like you. There is no one in this world who can be who you are. There is no one. Don't deny the world you. Please. Thank you.